Understand.
I'm going to lean now towards JDM. I feel like the size will make a difference. Cardio-wise, JDM has great cardio.
Islam's fucking huge.
Yeah.
He's big, dude.
Yeah.
When I interview him in the cage afterwards, I'm always like, how?
Really?
How are you 155?
Yeah.
How?
I know.
How?
I know.
He's thick as fuck. He's got a giant back.
Yeah.
And when he gets a hold of guys, it's like he's just got this leverage, this grappling squeeze.
Пошли, пошли, пошли. Давай, 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 давай. Lara, хорош.
Islam Makhachev is looking in perfect shape for his welterweight debut fight against Della Maddalena at UFC 322. The MMA world is excited and expects a closely contested matchup. Makhachev stays focused, pushing through a rigorous training camp to be ready and aim for the win. Islam Makhachev is committed to his long-term goal of becoming a two-division UFC champion. This ambition has driven him since the beginning of his career, and fans expect him to continue competing until he reaches it.
Can you just clarify, like, did they make you give up the lightweight title?
The General Shahuna and everybody?
Yeah, like the
Of
UFC.
course, this is the dream, man. This is the dream for the all champions. And like we know many champions, but not is there from them like double. You know, that's why everybody want to be double champ. Everybody want to be UFC champ, but we don't have many people who have two belts. That's why I want to be one of them, you know.
However, Benil Dariush doesn't think Islam's dream won't be fulfilled soon. He predicts that if Islam Makhachev faces JDM at UFC 322, JDM might have the edge. He explains that size could play a role and notes JDM's excellent cardio. While admitting he could be wrong, Dariush feels inclined to favor JDM in the matchup.
Islam versus JDM. Do you still favor Islam in that matchup?
I'm going to lean now towards JDM. I feel like the size will make a difference. Cardio-wise, JDM has great cardio. Maybe I'm wrong, but so I just feel like JDM.
On the contrary, bantamweight champ Merab Dvalishvili expressed confidence that Islam Makhachev could become a two-division champion by defeating Della Maddalena. He acknowledged JDM's striking ability, but described Makhachev as an intelligent and adaptable fighter. Merab expected Islam to analyze Belal Muhammad's fight with JDM and tailor his game plan accordingly. Although he admitted it would be a tough contest, he believed Makhachev would ultimately win and claim his second title.
It's gonna be hard for him, but it's possible to Islam Makhachev wins the second belt. JDM is great fighter, great striker, but Islam is tricky. He has a good wrestling, and he's southpaw. He don't get hits, but he takes people down and he mauls people down. So, and also we all see the JDM Belal Muhammad's fight, and then I'm sure Islam will take lots of lessons from this fight, and maybe Islam will make some adjustment. It's possible, it's gonna be hard, but Islam can win the second belt.
Meanwhile, Dan Hooker thinks the UFC purposely set up the fight between Islam Makhachev and Della Maddalena. He suggests Makhachev's team may have spotted a weakness to exploit, while admitting it remains a tough challenge for Jack. Hooker also believes Della Maddalena's size and power could play a key role, giving him a slight edge in the matchup.
Pretty confident stylistically with that Della fight they've kind of gone out of their way to chase that fight down. So they obviously see something. I feel like it'll be close, but yeah, that's a big step up. Della's a pretty big boy.
Yeah. Do you think Islam can get past him?
He's obviously got like I feel like he's got a chance, but I feel like that fight leans towards Della.
Moreover, Dan Hooker also targeted Arman Tsarukyan, promising an intense fight. He admitted there's no respect between them and said he plans to bring non-stop aggression, joking about trying to kick his head off. Hooker added that Tsarukyan's trash talk won't affect him, but the rivalry will make both the fight and press events highly charged.
I could not like him. I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna try and I'm gonna try and kick his head off. I'm gonna try. It makes no difference to me. It's more exciting for the fans, obviously, with the build-up and the tension and stuff like that. He's a bit of a donkey with his words. He's not going to say anything really interesting, or to say anything to try to piss me off would be very difficult. But yeah, it'll be exciting for the fans, for the press conference and getting in each other's faces and that. Because, yeah, I think there's a lot of animosity there. I don't like the way...
Dan Hooker openly shows his dislike for Arman Tsarukyan after their fight was announced. He admits he has no respect for Tsarukyan and says the rivalry gives him extra motivation, even mentioning that he's looking forward to landing a precise elbow during their bout.
I don't like his face. I don't like that his face is attached to his body, and I would love to separate the two. I don't like the bloke. I don't know anything about him, but I hate everything he stands for. Can't wait to elbow him in the nose.
Meanwhile, Arman Tsarukyan also discussed his upcoming fight with Dan Hooker, admitting that Hooker poses a bigger challenge than Paddy Pimblett or Justin Gaethje. He explained that Hooker's striking is hard for wrestlers to deal with, as he keeps distance well and uses his legs to land effective counterattacks.
Для меня, если честно, все бои сложные, потому что столько тренировок, тренировочный лагерь, весогонка, потом тебе драться надо. Он высокий, конечности длинные. Довольно хорошо стал защищаться от партера, встает хорошо, набрал неплохо. То есть, то, что он не умеет бороться, вот это самое. Именно в вольной борьбе он защищается не так хорошо. Вот этим и нужно брать. Но если бы я выбирал, я бы, конечно, выбрал бы Пимблета или Гейджа. С ними поудобнее, чем с Хукером. Так как Хукер очень высокий, с такими чуть тяжело драться. Тяжелее подойти, они на дистанции отстреливаются. Такие мерзкие удары ногами у него. Сдалека бьет типы хорошо. Для борцов чуть неудобные удары.
Arman Tsarukyan downplays Dan Hooker's trash talk, calling it just showmanship. He says he won't be distracted and will be fully prepared with his team. Tsarukyan stresses that once the fight begins, he intends to control the action and earn a decisive victory.
Especially we are fighters, you know.
Sure.
Maybe he's gonna talk a lot, but a lot of brothers coming, and hopefully he's gonna. They gonna stop me, you know.
Oh my.
And yeah, I shouldn't do some crazy things. I just gotta be focused because I'm gonna have 25 minutes to beat his ass.
When you say brothers, you mean your team, right?
Yeah, this time a lot of people comes to Qatar. They don't need a visa, so this time we're gonna have a bunch of people from Russia, from Armenia, so I'm gonna have a big team.
However, Dan Hooker dismissed Arman Tsarukyan's remarks about bringing a big team to Qatar, saying he wasn't intimidated. He explained that he's dealt with tougher challenges before and doesn't rely on others to fix problems. Hooker emphasized that if any issue comes up, he will handle it himself.
I've had my ass beat more times than you've had hot dinners, brother. You think that scares me in any way, shape, or form? You're off your head.
You got some pretty tough brothers on your side as well, just for the record.
I got some pretty tough brothers, but I'm not that guy. I'm not that guy, brother. I'm not that guy. I've heard him as well. I'm not that guy. I don't go get no one in my life. You beat me up, I'm not gonna go get anyone else to come and sort it out. I'm not gonna hide behind anyone. I don't need brothers. I have brothers, but I'm not that guy. I don't go and get people. If I got a problem with someone, I'll come around your house and sort it out myself. I'm not. I don't send anyone to go and do my dirty work, brother.
Dan Hooker further warns that if Arman Tsarukyan gets too close, he could react aggressively, potentially putting the fight at risk. He adds that the tension between them is intense, and it's the UFC's responsibility to keep them apart to ensure the bout takes place.
When it comes to Arman and this fight week, do you think he's gonna, stand for what he said he was going to do? Like, if I see Dan, it's on. Or do you believe now that the fight's official and you guys see each other, do you anticipate he's going to be a lot more quieter now?
Nah, I don't give a bro. I don't give a If he comes in arm's range to me, I'm going to hit him. That's the long and short of it, and the fight's going to be off. I don't care about that. That's what I'm saying. If you put me near the guy, the fight, and I feel like he feels the exact same way. If you put me near the guy, I'm gonna try and hit him and throw shit at him and him off. Yeah, that's not really my concern. The UFC wants this fight to happen, so I feel like it's on them to keep us away from each other.
Dan Hooker also blamed Arman Tsarukyan, saying he acts entitled and hasn't faced real-life challenges. He believes Tsarukyan is motivated by fame and social media while he fights to provide for his family. Hooker added that if Tsarukyan approaches him like he did with Bobby Green, the fight could be cancelled.
He's just like a lippy little rich kid that's had everything handed to him in his life, and he thinks he can go around and like, it's like, I'm just saying, if there's a repeat, like there's a video of him walking up on Bobby Green and like getting in his face like before the fight, and obviously he doesn't need the money from these UFC fights, you know what I mean? He does this for attention and Instagram likes. Like, he doesn't fight to feed his family. Like, I fight to provide for my family. Bobby Green provides for his family through fighting. So him coming up in his face, obviously Bobby Green's not going to lash out and he's going to keep it professional. I'm just saying, if he walks up on me like he walked up on Bobby Green, the fight is cancelled and the UFC has been full. I might actually write that in my contract.
Furthermore, Arman Tsarukyan also revealed he requested a fight against a top contender, but Justin Gaethje turned it down. To stay active, he agreed to face any opponent who stepped up, and Dan Hooker accepted. Although Gaethje was his first choice, Tsarukyan believes both matchups would offer a good payday.
So I was asking about the title fight, and they said this year Ile, he's not gonna fight, so that's why I said I'll fight to anybody, because I haven't fought a long time, so I want to fight. And then Hooker, Gaethje, works for me, these names. And finally, Gaethje, like I heard, like Gaethje said no, and Hooker said yes, so we are in.
Okay, so was Gaethje the top choice?
Gaethje would be better, but for me it doesn't matter. It's both of them. It's just easy money for me.
Arman Tsarukyan believes Justin Gaethje avoided the fight to protect his record, but he feels it wouldn't be fair for Gaethje to receive a title shot after turning it down, but recognizes that the UFC makes the final call. Tsarukyan adds that his upcoming fight will probably decide the next contender, even though the promotion hasn't confirmed it yet.
Do you know why Gaethje said no?
But he knows he could lose to me.
Right. Do you think he's going to get a title shot as a result of saying no? That seems to be the rumor.
Oh, it's gonna be so bad to me, you know.
You mean it's going to be a one-sided fight?
I mean, we'll see how I fight, how like my fight goes, but for sure our fight is #1 contender.
When you accepted the fight, did they tell you that? Did they say, okay, it's done November 22nd and it's going to be #1 contender, or did you find out like all of us?
No, they didn't say like this is #1 contender fight, but like Donna said last weekend,
yeah,
it's a number one contender fight. But you know, like we know they can do whatever they want to do. So,
however, let's get back to the main topic, as the fans are also excited for the Jack Della Maddalena versus Islam Makhachev fight in November. Jack Della Maddalena is also confident to defend his belt and promises to give his all against Islam Makhachev at UFC 322. He plans to finish the fight at Madison Square Garden, beat the former pound-for-pound #1, and send a strong message throughout the lightweight division.
Finishing this one, I'm going to go for it. You know, I would love. Obviously, that'd be the best case scenario, get the finish. I can see it happening. You know, I can see it blowing the roof off MSG, taking out pound for pound #1 with no doubts. You know, finish would be the dream.
Meanwhile, Johnny Walker sees Islam Makhachev's move to welterweight as an exciting development in his career. He highlights Makhachev's toughness and technical ability, saying these traits will help him face bigger, stronger opponents at 170 pounds. Walker believes Makhachev can adjust and thrive in the new division.
I think Islam, yeah, he's been a really tough fight and incredible technique for the last all his career, and I believe he still can get it. But as I said, it's a new division, new body type, new power, everything. It's moving up. It's a big testing for him, but I believe he can do good too.
However, Max Holloway warns fans not to underestimate Jack Della Maddalena, noting that many ignore his threat despite his high pound-for-pound ranking. He says a fight in October would be a tactical, exciting matchup and emphasizes that JDM's skills make him a dangerous and serious contender.
I think he'd be fine, man. I think he'd be good, but people be sleeping on Jack, you know what I mean? And I think Jack is one of the best fighters in the world right now, and I think people is gonna find out when that match happens. I don't know. I'm hearing rumors maybe October. I think it's gonna be a fun fight, smart fight, but a lot of people counting out Jack for I don't know what reason. They just keep counting him out. Kind of reminds me of when I was like coming up and counting me out about certain fights. So I mean, he is, he's the number 2 pound for pound in the world right now, but he's the number 2 pound for pound in the world for a reason. So you gotta respect that, but. Don't sleep on Jack. I think it's going to be a tough and fun fight.
Alexander Volkanovski agrees, highlighting Jack Della Maddalena's skill in staying active with strikes even when facing takedown attempts. He adds that JDM's confidence from defeating strong grapplers prepares him to deal effectively with Islam Makhachev's challenges.
Jack Della and what he did him with Bilal is he will, you get people that are worried about the takedown, so and then they don't fight their fight on the feet. I'm gonna fight my fight and worry about the takedown when it's there.
Exactly.
And that's perfect. You need to be like that. For me, like with Islam, was like, I'm gonna do my thing. Yeah, I'll be worried about it, but at the same time, find the shots to go in, boom, boom, boom. But I'll worry about the takedown when they're there. But I'm still committed to things.
Once you realize you can handle it, then you were just like, this shit, I can handle it.
And the confidence Jack Della is going to have now from getting through that, even though he's going to be confident. And then there's another one when you're successful with guys that are very dominant there. When you have the success there, then all of a sudden you're like, okay, now you end up even that much better at takedowns. And then he's going to do a lot. We're actually going to get a bit of training in and that as well. Like obviously he's going to do.
Over there.
Hey?
You going over there?
He'll probably come over here, or maybe we'll get we'll see. I might even go over there, whatever they want. I'm happy to do whatever.
Robert Whittaker also feels Jack Della Maddalena has the skills to challenge Islam Makhachev, even if Whittaker personally favors Makhachev. He highlights Jack's size, underrated grappling, and unorthodox striking as potential problems for Islam. Whittaker adds that taking JDM down won't be easy and points to his sharp boxing, heavy body shots, and ability to strike from unusual angles as significant threats.
Why does he beat Islam in your opinion?
I'm biased as heck.
Yeah, exactly.
So I can see the fight playing out very much like he did with Volk, okay? But Jack's bigger. Jack's he's a little bigger. He's got a different frame. He's a hard dude to try and hold down. And I think his jiu-jitsu is very underrated. He has good jiu-jitsu, which means it won't be free. The takedowns won't be free. Being on top of him won't be free. Not to mention, Jack has really good hands, and if he can keep it into that mid-range, into that distance that he likes, make it awkward. He's very good at not only punching straight lines but punching up. So his hooks, his uppercuts, he mixes it really well. He works the body, which makes it harder to shoot on. I think there's enough angles there to give Islam trouble.
Craig Jones thinks Islam Makhachev might face one of his toughest tests yet. He points to Makhachev's first fight with Alexander Volkanovski, where scrambling against a top opponent exposed some weaknesses. Jones adds that Jack Della Maddalena could be an even bigger challenge with his unorthodox grappling and unpredictable grip-breaking skills.
I think it's a super difficult fight for Islam, this one. He's like, obviously he's faced Volk twice. We'll forget about the second one, but the first one, very competitive with the grappling. And now we're talking about he's facing a guy that's some of the best scrambling ability, I think, period, in all of MMA, and some of the most unorthodox grappling. And I think that's what Bilal struggled with. Bilal really just sticks to a blueprint. The blueprint obviously works very well.
Craig Jones also points out Jack Della Maddalena's creativity, making him less predictable than more structured fighters like Bilal Muhammad. He notes that Jack's size adds extra difficulty for his opponents. Jones believes the fight has all the ingredients for an exciting stand-up focused battle that the UFC would be eager to promote.
But in terms of creativity and what Bilal does, I think it's pretty strict. Jack, as you saw in that fight, some of his off balances and grip breaks and some of the things he does, it's really hard to prepare for that. So I think like Islam, the size difference is going to be quite a lot bigger than people think. And we've seen how Volk did on the ground and how much Islam struggled with him in the grappling exchanges. And having seen Jack and Volks work together, seeing the skill sets, like this is a perfect one. The UFC want guys that stand and bang. I'm trying to still help them out, even though potentially enemies.
Do you feel confident about this
Yeah,
one?
very, very confident for this one.
Meanwhile, Curtis Blades admits he hasn't seen enough of Jack Della Maddalena's fights to make a complete assessment, having only watched his last 2 bouts. Still, he favors Islam Makhachev, citing the Dagestani's proven skill in handling top-level challenges.
I don't know. I haven't seen enough of JDM. I haven't seen enough of his fights. I've seen his last 2, but I haven't seen enough. I'm still going to lean towards Islam just because I've seen him handle all issues, and he's had high levels of success in the past.
However, Jack Hermanson points out that moving up in weight always brings uncertainties, even for a dominant fighter like Islam Makhachev. He suggests that Makhachev's control at lightweight might not fully translate to welterweight. While he respects Jack Della Maddalena's victory over Belal Muhammad, Hermanson thinks it's too soon to place him among the division's elite fighters.
Yeah, it's so hard because you never know when people are changing weight classes. But in lightweight, you know, Islam looks like unbeatable. It's just like maybe the pound for pound best. It's just so insanely good. But can he do it in a weight class above? I'm not sure. Really, really hard to predict a fight like that. I think I still have to say Islam. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, we need to see a few more fights with Jack. It looked amazing against Bilal, but yeah, I don't know, man. It's something about Islam is just so good.
That's a wrap for today's video. What are your thoughts on this matchup? Share your predictions in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe, and don't forget to check out our other videos on the screen right now.